Okay. Danny, glad to be back. How's your pre-season and how are things looking ahead of the weekend?
Yeah, no, things have been good. Been really good. Everything's been positive and training's been great. So lots of positives going into the start of the season.
And a few new additions, I guess that fans will be excited to hear about. Orla, Aoife, and Colleen in particular. What have they brought to the mix as they've been coming in through the off season?
Yeah, no, they've been good. They've been good additions to the team. They've improved us, and we have one more that's come in today and been able to get finalised and finished. So we'll hopefully get that out tonight so everyone knows about it. And it's another good addition to helping us improve and keep continuing to trying to get better as a team.
And Eva, I suppose you mentioned already you've got an experience of playing with Orla at international level, and how's that relationship been building through the games you've played so far together?
Yeah, I'm delighted. I always rated Orla when we used to play in the international setup. Like she's a really good holding six, and I think that's what we were missing the last few seasons was a player like her. So yeah, we're delighted to have her.
I guess coming into the game, Danny, is there any particular injury concerns, or are you working from a full squad?
Do you know, I'm not going to comment. Any time I commented on that last year, I come Friday evening and someone had something wrong with them. So, no, look, at the moment we're good, and we're hoping we just keep trying to keep the girls wrapped up in cotton wool until Saturday, and we'll be full strength going into the game.
And I suppose, along with the new signings, you've got, like Soriak, for example, is back training. That's almost like a new signing as well, I guess, in itself.
Yeah, no, Chloe's been very good in pre-season, and she's come back from her injury in good shape, and it's like having a new player, really, because she got a bit of a bad injury towards the end of last season, and we missed her for probably the last 5 or 6 games, really.
And I suppose looking ahead to Peamount, it's obviously the champions coming down to Turner's Cross. How are you looking forward to the game, and do you think we can cause an upset? Because obviously, it's going to be a big test. They are the champions. They have that pedigree.
Yeah, no, look, the game's it's not going to be an easy game, but if we prepare right and we do the things we know the girls can do, and we keep trying to improve, then I think we'll be in a good position going into the game on Saturday. And we've just got to go in and do what we can do and worry about us and not worry about what everyone else has to say or what other people think. We've just got to concentrate on our own personal performance.
And I suppose, finally, for me, any message to the fans? Obviously, it's the first game in Turner's Cross, as well as being the first game of the new season for quite a while. So great to be back in Turner's Cross, but hoping obviously for a big crowd. I mean, the players have been out doing club visits and things during the week, and that all hopefully will help to build the buzz ahead of the kick-off.
Yeah, no, look, the girls and the staff and the girls side have been out trying to promote the game, get people in to come and watch games. Look, we need the support. We want young girls coming out to watch games, and look, some of these girls will hopefully be future internationals, and they can say where they watch them play. And there's no better thing to do than watch a live football match to learn and help yourself develop. So we want as many young girls coming out to games as possible, and hopefully parents will bring them out, and we have nice enough weather that we get a decent crowd at the game.
I guess, Eva, just lastly for you, if there is a parent or a kid out there who's watching this or they're looking to go to the game, as a player, what do you hope they'll expect to see come Saturday?
Well, I think last season, when kids and parents came, I think we went from strength to strength each game, and it's a huge buzz for us when we have a crowd there to shout us on at the end of the games. It's really nice to see the kids and kind of interact with them. So hopefully we'll get a good crowd out now at the start of the season to get us going.
Cheers, John. John Fallon, do you want to come in there?
Can I come in? Yeah. Thanks, John. Yeah. I spoke to Eva at the launch. So I suppose first thing then, just in terms of selecting her as captain, just tell us a bit about the thinking there for someone so young.
Yeah, no, look, I think for me, Eva leads by example in terms of the way she prepares for games and the things that she does off the pitch. It's not just about what you do on the pitch, it's about how you apply yourself in football in general. And Eva will be someone who looks after herself, does the right things off the pitch, and has ambition to go and play at a high level. So we feel that, you know, she will help the young girls have the aspirations to go and hopefully replace Eva at some stage. And, you know, but it's all about what she leads by, and the role model she is for younger girls. And look, she's still a young girl herself, but I think in terms of her performance and the way she plays, that, you know, she's always there, she always turns up, doesn't miss anything, does the extra things she needs to do off the pitch, and like, that's exactly what we're looking for from our captain.
Yeah, I think Katie McCabe was 23 when she got appointed by Colin Bell, and Robbie Keane was quite young as well. Do you think good players can sort of take that burden at that age?
Yeah, I think they can. I think that Eva's taken it in her stride. Like, it's not affected her in any way in terms of performance. There's probably an added pressure that she probably adds onto herself more than pressure from everyone around her. Like, and I think that's part and parcel of it. But I think like this year we've seen her really develop in terms of around the dressing room, around the girls, and, you know, become a leader, and that I think will only help her in her career as well going forward, and it'll keep her pushing on, and she'll keep developing.
And just back to your own sort of plan, I think this is your second pre-season. Did you do anything different this year that you might have learned from last year?
Yeah, we gave them no time off. We decided at the end of the season that we were going to focus a lot more on the other areas that we didn't probably focus on as much last year, which would have been more involvement in the gym program and stuff like that. So since the season ended, I think you got a couple of weeks off.
2 weeks.
2 weeks off, and then we were back into the gym and trying to help them. And ultimately, we're trying to keep developing the girls. They're young, and we've got to put things in place for them to help them improve and get better. And so we had to do that and take that road this year, and we've just then been able to keep building on what we've done. So the girls put in the work and the effort. Like, we've asked them to do things, and we put some things in place, but they're the ones who go out and do it, and they're the ones who turn up. So we can ask people to do everything we want, but it comes down to their willingness to actually do the stuff that we've asked them to do, and they've been brilliant at it.
And how do you see the league this year? Do you think it's tighter, it's more competitive, or are there leagues within the league?
I think you're never going to know till a couple of games into the season. I think there's always going to be a lot of change in Dublin in terms of players moving around from club to club. I do think some clubs have probably recruited quite well in Dublin, but I think there's some clubs have probably lost players and weakened them a little bit. But as I've said before, like, we're not thinking about anyone else, and I don't really care about any other club. All I care about is keep developing what we're doing here, keep trying to improve, and just focus on what we need to do. Like, it doesn't matter what other clubs are doing or what they're trying to do. It's what we're trying to do here and where we want to get to. And we've got a long-term plan on where we want to go, and we're still at early stages of that plan and where we want to be.
So within that plan, like, what is the target for this season?
So we want to finish higher than what we did last year. As I've said before, the girls have their own aspirations of where they want to be and what they want to get to, and it's about us as a staff helping them achieve them goals and achieve them positions within the league they want to get to. So, you know, we all have our own ambitions. Like, it's easy to come in here and go, oh yeah, we want to win the league, but we have to be realistic as well. As we've got some new players and still some young girls, and we've got to keep trying to develop them, and we've got to keep trying to improve. And I think if we do things the right way and keep trying to improve, we'll probably finish a lot higher than what we did last year.
So in that respect, are you better prepared, are you better resourced than last year?
Yeah, I definitely feel we're better resourced. I think we have new players that have come in. We have more squad depth in terms of if we're looking to bring players on off the bench. There's players there that could possibly be starting the game, whereas I feel in the years before we didn't really have that. There wasn't players who we felt that was on the bench that could come on and change a game or take someone else's position. Whereas I think there's more competition for places in the team. It's that little bit harder, and it's more difficult for me to have to pick a team. So, you know, the players who you might have to bring on off the bench and come on and impact and change the game. So that was a big thing for us this year, trying to be more competitive as a squad. And we feel that we've recruited well enough to do that.
And I know you don't want to talk about other teams, but you are playing Peamount, as John mentioned there. Did you get to see them on Saturday or watch it on the telly? Or?
Yeah, no, we watched it. We watched bits back of them, and I think that we we went last year and watched the Shells game, and we was turning around thinking, well, gosh, Shells didn't look great in the game, and then you turn up and play on first game of the season, it's a completely different story. And I think that video's great, and it's good to go and watch teams, but until you get out onto the pitch and everyone crosses the white line, it's what turns up on the day and who performs best, and that we're going to try and perform the best we can. And if we do that, I think we have a really good chance going into